Dr. Elena Vasquez adjusted her cracked glasses with trembling fingers as the Catherian hunting party circled her makeshift camp. The alien predators moved with the fluid grace of apex hunters, their obsidian exoskeletons gleaming under the twin Sons of Kepler 442b. Each stood nearly 3 meters tall, with razor-sharp mandibles that could slice through reinforced steel and compound eyes that tracked every micro-movement. The lead hunter, identified by the crimson markings across its thorax, clicked its mandibles in what Elena's universal translator rendered as, "The soft flesh thinks it can hide from the brood killers of Kither." Elena's heart hammered against her ribs. Her rescue beacon was destroyed, her equipment scattered, and her emergency shelter barely qualified as adequate protection against the planet's harsh environment, let alone against creatures that had terrorized this sector for millennia. The Catherians were legendary, a species that had wiped out 17 civilizations before the Galactic Council had managed to contain them to this remote world. Yet here she stood, a xenobiologist weighing barely 60 kilograms, armed with nothing but her intellect and a basic field kit. "I'm not hiding," Elena said, forcing her voice to remain steady as she slowly reached for her portable analyzer. "I'm studying." The Catherians exchanged rapid clicks, laughter according to her translator. The lead hunter stepped closer, its talons scoring deep grooves in the rocky ground. "Study us, soft flesh, we who have hunted the void swimmers of Proxima, we who devoured the crystal mines of Arcturus Prime." Elena's analyzer beeped softly as it processed atmospheric samples. Her eyes widened imperceptibly at the readings. "Your reputation precedes you," she said, buying time as her mind raced through possibilities. 17 civilizations. Impressive. 18, once we finish with you, the hunter hissed, its secondary arms extending wicked bone spurs. But Elena was no longer listening to the threats. Her attention was fixed on the data streaming across her analyzer's screen. The atmospheric composition, the trace pheromones, the electromagnetic signatures, everything was painting a picture that made her pulse quicken with excitement rather than fear. "Tell me," she said suddenly, "how long have you been on this planet?" The question clearly caught the Catherians off guard. Their clicking fell silent. The lead hunter's head tilted at an unnatural angle. "We have claimed this world for 3 solar cycles. Why do you ask questions instead of running, soft flesh?" Elena smiled, and for the first time since the encounter began, it was genuine. "Because I've just solved a puzzle that's been bothering xenobiologists for decades." She held up her analyzer, its screen displaying complex molecular structures. "Your species exhibits perfect predatory adaptation, enhanced reflexes, superior strength, advanced sensory apparatus. But there's always been one question. How do you maintain such aggressive territorial behavior without depleting your food sources?" The Catherians shifted restlessly. Their leader's mandibles clicked irritably. "Enough riddles, soft flesh. Your time." "The answer is biotemporal hibernation cycles," Elena interrupted, her voice gaining confidence with each word. "Your entire species enters synchronized dormancy periods to prevent overhunting. It's brilliant, really. Except..." She paused, watching as understanding began to dawn in those compound eyes. "Except the hibernation is triggered by specific atmospheric conditions, particulate density, electromagnetic variance, and, most importantly, the presence of certain rare Earth elements that this planet naturally produces during its seasonal atmospheric storms." Elena pointed to her analyzers steadily climbing readings. "The storm that brought me here, it's been seeding the atmosphere for the past 6 hours in approximately..." She checked her chronometer. 4 minutes and 37 seconds, every Catherian on this planet will enter an involuntary hibernation state lasting roughly 14 standard months. The lead hunter lunged forward with supernatural speed, but Elena had anticipated this. She dove sideways, her smaller size allowing her to slip between 2 of the creatures. "You can kill me," she called out as they wheeled to follow her. "But you can't fight your own biology." Already she could see the effects beginning. The Catherians' movements were becoming sluggish, their clicking more sporadic. The atmospheric particulate density had reached critical levels. "Impossible," the leader managed, its voice slurring through the translator. "We..." We conquered 17. 18 civilizations, Elena corrected, pulling out her emergency beacon. Not destroyed after all, merely powered down to avoid detection. But you never conquered yourselves. One by one, the mighty predators collapsed, their bodies automatically curling into hibernation positions as millions of years of evolutionary programming overrode their conscious minds. Within minutes, the fearsome hunting party had become an impressive collection of dormant sculptures. Elena activated her beacon and began documenting the phenomenon. The Galactic Council would be fascinated by this discovery. More importantly, the 18 civilizations could finally reclaim their worlds, knowing that the Catherian threat was cyclical and predictable. As the rescue shuttle's engines grew audible in the distance, Elena allowed herself a moment of satisfaction. Physical strength and predatory instincts were impressive, but they were no match for careful observation, scientific methodology, and the simple human refusal to give up. She had outsmarted an entire species of apex predators, not through superior weaponry or physical prowess, but by understanding them better than they understood themselves. In the end, knowledge had proven deadlier than any claw or fang. The shuttle landed as the first drops of the atmospheric storm began to fall, washing the sleeping giants in sheets of mineral-rich rain that would sustain their hibernation for over a year. Elena gathered her equipment and walked toward salvation, leaving behind the most significant xenobiological discovery of the century. Humanity's greatest weapon, she reflected, had always been its curiosity.